Both of my parents were druggies. They were strung out most of the time. And when they were, they neglected me totally. When they were high, they didn't give a damn. And that's why there was barely any food in the house. That house just pit hole, just stinking and dirty. We lived like pigs. That's the way it is with drug addicts. They only care about one thing: getting their hands on drugs. And they will do anything to get it. Anything. My mother even sold my own clothes to get drug money. Those people were just sick as hell, my parents. Sick as hell. Some days I would come home from school and find them so stoned they'd be passed out in the middle of their bed. Then one day I came back home from school and I found my mother dead on the kitchen floor. And my father was just sitting there, stoned out of it. Like, I don't even think he was aware that she was dead. And I went into shock and I began crying and he just started slapping me around and screaming and it was just out of control. So I went out the back door to my auntie and uncle's house and I just stayed there for as long as I could. And they knew what was going on, so they tried to protect me and keep me away from my dad as long as they could. But eventually I had to go back home. And after my mom had passed, my dad got heavier into drugs. And he started to abuse me. And he would just beat me for no reason, as if I was the problem, as if I was the reason he became a junkie. He treated me like hell. And so I told my auntie and my uncle, and they told my dad that they were going to call the authorities. So he came in, unplugged and panicking, and he kidnapped me. And we drove around the country for like almost 3 weeks, living in cheap motels. And oh God, it was just a nightmare with him slapping me around and cursing and doing drugs all day. And by now I hated him. I hated my own father.